As the cybersecurity and information security start becoming more and more complex, the organizations struggle with the problem of defining their security maturity. There are many products, many tools, many frameworks available in the industry by which the organizations gets a fairly good amount of view of where to stand. They could be based on NIST framework, they could be based on ISO framework, and so on. The question which management asks many times, that having obtained a certificate for ISO 27001 or equivalent or any other SOX compliance, does this make my organization secure? Second question the management asks is, what is 90% security? Because that 10% gap is still there, which is not going to be breached so easily, because that 10% is uncertainty that will all prevail. Or for that matter, if what is the difference between security maturity of 40% and 80%? Or if I'm secure today, does it mean I'm secure tomorrow? Because the dynamics is changing everyday basis. Now let us understand that some of the frameworks have proved to be successful. For example, PCI-DSS implementation has proven that the possibility of security breaches or the credit card frauds has gone down, but that is not a guarantee. So let us look at the security framework from a holistic perspective, which people normally do not uh, think explicitly, but is implicit in their minds. So when you talk about security, it talks about governance, of course, which means policies, procedures, organ structures, the hierarchies of approval, and so on and so forth. There is another view of security, which is engineering view. Engineering view is basically how the security is architected, how the design is done, how the perimeter security, internal security, network security, threat management, external security, cloud management, and other things are being taken care of. So you are having a design part of it, which many organizations invest a lot and do a good amount of architecting on engineering front. But that is another view of doing the maturity, and you can calculate the maturity just based on the architecture part of it. Another important part is not in the architecture but day-to-day operations, and what kind of operating procedures are being defined, how frequently they are being followed, how are they measured, how the patch management systems are done, how the device integration takes place, how the configuration has been deployed. So that is an operational view. So one can do an assessment based on pure operations as well. Then there is also a view of technology. Depending on the organization, every organization has different level of maturity. Every organization has different level of technology requirements. Some organizations may require technologies which are robust technologies or multiple technologies, because they are very sensitive, like banks, or maybe stock exchanges, or maybe any other systems which process of volume of data. Maybe government of India or government of any country may they require a very high level of technological deployment. On the contrary, low standing organizations or organizations processing less amount of volumes may require a technology which is suitable to their environment. So that is another way of looking at the technological view of the security. Of course, as you mentioned, compliance is a view where we can think of unified compliance framework. We can think of any framework that is suitable to organizations and find out to what extent they have got maturity part of it. And finally, last but not the least, the sustenance view. That is whether the organization is able to sustain the security. By sustenance, it is not just deployment of technology, it is not just uploading the patches, it is just not replacing the technologies, it is to ensure that the security is ingrained into the all processes in future. That is where the new technologies are deployed, new initiatives are being taken, new processes are being defined, new structures are being defined. The management committee and the security teams are able to take a holistic view and ensure that this is addressed, so that future failures or future breaches or future concerns are addressed in time. That is how the system has to take place. It is not possible to measure the organization security on all these parameters simultaneously, because that itself is a very long process. But one can take a specific view, measure the security, and see where the organization stands with respect to that part of it. So that is how the things can be simplified, that is how things can be measured, that is how the organization's maturity can be derived, and necessary action attempts can be taken. Thank you.